Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully, you are doing well. We are back for another live stream. We are ready to go. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. With me, as always, is Damo and Dom. Fellas, how we going?
Good, and yourself, Paulie? Good 10 you've got, mate, with a little bit of a burnt nose. How's Barley?
Yeah, Bali was incredible. I wish I could say the same for my FPL side for whilst I was away, because I had one really bad stinker and then somewhat salvaged it so far this weekend. Dom, how was your... I can hear myself twice there. So someone's maybe got us playing audio on. Maybe turn it down a little bit. But Dom, how you going?
I'm good. Couple really good weeks and then an average week, and really intriguing. Just checked out all three of our scores, how close we were. I don't think we've ever been that close. I think it was 2 or 3 points between the three of us. And our teams are quite different. So keen to get into that side of things.
Yeah, I was just loading up your side because I'd known that Damo and I were a point away. So we are going to start with you because I think you did score the least. So
Yep.
Share screen for Dom. All right, ballers and ballers, Dom, rapid fire away. I mean, I still think your score was relatively good, but the game week rank probably doesn't suggest it, which is strange. It must have been a high-scoring week, but I don't know. Into it, let's go.
Faller, gonna say Eze. Just no returns yet again. I'm not sure what to do there. Arsenal attackers. I think if you go on Arsenal, you're going to triple up on the defense. Yeah, very disappointed. He's playing in the 10 as well, which is what I wanted. That's what I got him in for. Very disappointing. Walter Marte, they looked very, very, very average, considering how good they've been going forward in all competitions. So expected a return there. And I'm probably going to have to go with Mbeumo. They scored 2 goals. He just didn't. I watched the extended highlights. Just didn't look like his usual self. I definitely expected a return there. And my bowlers, do we have to even say it? Erling Haaland? I think every week he's just a bowler. He's just in the bowler list for all three of us. He's just an animal. And then I'm going to go with my boy Minte, who came in very late. A few drinks
I love that move.
on a pub crawl. Brought him in. So thank myself for that one. And then I'm going to have to say Nico O'Reilly scored a beautiful goal. He's actually equaled second top scorer at Manchester City with 1 goal. So, if your defender's scoring a goal, and can't complain, but pretty cut he didn't get some bonus points. Your defender scores, you expect him to get some bonus points. But yeah, that's me. Pass it on to Paulie or Damo?
Off to Damo. So let's bring Damo's team onto the screen with 74 points. Let's go, Damo. Talk us through it.
Yeah, look, it looks like it's a great week because it's 74 points, but it was a very high scoring week. When you see the highest points total for the week is 135, average is 65, and you've got basically right in the middle, and it's a game week rank of 3.4. It's been a very high scoring week. Start with ballers. We obviously know that Haaland is the one. I've been on Mateta for ages. Nice for him to continue scoring. Unfortunately, Joe Pedro got a goal as well, so kind of negates it, which is a bit annoying because his ownership's so high, but that's fine. And then the one that I really want to talk about, look, Gabriel, definitely a baller, obviously. Ray has been consistent, but I went against what most people are doing and getting Munoz in, and I went for Larocks, and he outscored him by 2 points. And the main reason I went there was defensive contributions. He's insane for him. As good as Richards, but he has better goal threat, and because Richards takes long throws, Lacroix is the one flicking them on or getting on the end of them. He hasn't scored. Unfortunately, it's been Guehi, but the numbers are very similar. He's lower owned and always gets DC. And for him, points difference between another 20K rank. So he's my baller over Gabriel. And then fallers, look, the midfield in general. My biggest problem faller is Enzo Fernandez because I don't know what to do. Guy looks insane in terms of value, should be insane, was outrageous until this little knock injury and hasn't done anything since. So he's my first faller.
I'll get him later.
Yeah, awesome. My second faller is Saka, and really the difference between me going Saka over Timber has really killed me in terms of a lot of rank because I did plan for going Raya, Gabriel, and Timber. But yeah, he looked good again, and if you watch the game, probably should have had 2 returns. Doesn't, and it's not the same Saka as last year. A little annoying, and I expect a lot better from a guy worth 9 million, especially with Liverpool fixtures coming up. He might be one on the chopping block if he doesn't get a return soon. And then the last faller, and I think the biggest problem I have, and I don't know what to do with him this week, is Dan Burn. Newcastle look awful. Burn hasn't really been that defensive monster that he has been previously for DCs. And there's other centre backs or fullbacks I want. There's definitely a world where Saka could go down and Burn could go up in terms of what I might do moving forward. But that's for a different discussion. But that's me.
All right, let's get on to me. Is it updated? No.
Nope. I'm still looking at my team. It's not bad looking, but it's an
there
okay
we go. So, one extra point for me this week. Couple of the same issues. My first faller, I'm going to give it to myself because look at my bench. if I knew that I was going to have this kind of a bench with this kind of game, again, a few plans had changed from my team. I looked at my bench and I was like, damn, I wish I had my bench boost still, because the bench boost this week was Xhaka against Everton, Senesi against City, which wasn't great. And then you look at Anderson against Man United and you get the goal on the bench, you get DC and 3 goals conceded, and you get DC and appearance points, and you go, I got 8 points on my bench boost when I played it. So Xhaka outscored my whole bench boost because of the Sanchez red card. Anyway, being serious, I made 2 transfers this week, João Pedro to Mateta and Bruno to Mbeumo. So I lost 3 points on my transfers this week, but I think long-term Mbeumo is the better own in that scenario anyway. We've spoken a lot about Mbeumo this season. Similar to Damo, Dan Burn, I had the decision to play Burn or Xhaka, and Newcastle away, I don't typically play Burn unless I'm desperate. Newcastle at home are a very different defense to Newcastle away. I just didn't expect – I expected Burn's ceiling to be – more likely to be a 6 to an 8 pointer, and Xhaka's ceiling to be a 4-pointer. I've obviously got them the wrong way around. Like, Xhaka doesn't score a whole lot of goals, but he does get the DC. He didn't even get DC today, but he scores and gets 3 bonus because he is actually a really, really strong option to play most weeks. More for his assist threat than his goal threat. But Dan Burn, I'm going to put him as a faller, same as Damo, but I'm almost going to give it to myself because – one, Newcastle shouldn't be conceding 3 against West Ham.
Nope.
But I should know better than to play him in home fixtures, not away fixtures. And I've got an interesting dilemma this week because he plays Brentford away. So you're going to see that later on. My other 4, the same as Damo, really was just my midfield. Like Tarkowski, it's frustrating. He was on 1 DC at halftime. He finishes on 8. Everton in the first half absolutely dominated this game. I watched the full first half live, and I got off the treadmill thinking, I'm in here. This is going to be a clean sheet for Tarkowski. And if Jack Grealish doesn't get a return, I'll be really disappointed. In the first 45 minutes, he hits the post with an absolute beautiful strike from outside the box. And he puts one on a plate for Barry, 3 yards out, puts it over the bar.
Barry.
So
that guy stinks.
I've struggled with that decision of Iliman and Dyer versus Jack Grealish, because Dyer scored about 3 goals in the period and got DC, where Jack Grealish has 1 goal for me, but Dyer came off injured. So I don't know what's going to happen there for him, but Grealish is really frustrating me, but I don't see myself really using the transfer on Grealish because the eye test is there. And now with Noah Dyer, it's interesting. The frustrating part for Grealish, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, he is really wide, like really wide. And I really like watching him play, but I'm really not sold on his role being conducive to fantasy points. So I'm tempted to bring someone in, and it's annoying that I didn't realize that someone in this team has brought this person in already, because there is somebody I really want to buy and someone bought them. So really my midfielder, my fallers, Gyökeres finally gets me a goal again. It's been so long, and I really am glad that he got the goal. I reckon he gets a rest in the Champions League. Arsenal started like a house on fire, and then he starts in the league. It sounds pretty positive, so I'm going to just hold firm with Gyökeres. And that's about it. The Arsenal boys carrying my side, and, I've gone from about 40K to 97K in the last 2 weeks, but I'm not panicking. I said this last stream that, people are going to start catching me because I've played all my chips, and, there are a few things that aren't optimal with my side, and I thought I would have fallen more by now. So I'm in an okay spot. So that is where I'm at. So we've got a few different directions we can take this now. So we can either go, I've got one area that I want to go to. So I'm going to bring this up. This is going to be more a discussion around where we're at moving forward. We are going into game week 11. And what I'm bringing up here is predicted points for players under the price of 9.7. So the reason I'm doing that is because most assets that are priced 9.7 and above typically are good assets. All I'm really getting rid of is Bruno, Saka, Haaland, Salah, Isak, that like upper echelon of players. I've left everyone else here. And actually, well, Bruno's here. He's 8.9. What am I talking about? I got it mixed up. What I want to talk about here is this man right here, Jean-Philippe Mateta, because I've brought him in this week and got the goal. Damo's had him in for a while, brought him back in. A lot of people are talking about João Pedro, and João Pedro, did have finally a game where he had a lot of shots and really looked like a striker again. I'm still not sold on João Pedro as a fantasy asset. We've seen him be real streaky for Brighton, and I just think for 7.9 million now, like Mateta's starting to get away from people, which is exactly why I made this move last week. It hurt me a little bit. It didn't hurt me, it cost me a transfer, and I got the same points. But I just think Mateta is going to be so good. Damo, talk us through, but his minutes are looking good. He's on penalties. He's how many times we have to say he's the focal point of a Palace team that's creating a lot of chances. Continue for me.
He's just good, right? Some fantasy assets, you just look at it and everything just goes, he's good for fantasy. Playing in a team that loves to score goals, playing in a team where he's the talisman, playing in a team where all the service comes towards him because he's the big boy number 9 who's always in and around the box. Gets a lot of chances, usually takes them. Historically, he's actually really underperformed data this year. I think his XG that he creates in games, and especially early on when I had Manoz, he cost me a lot of points, did Mateta. But I think he's fantastic. And the fixtures coming up for Palace and second to none. And with how good Palace look, there's a world they finished top 5 this year. So why not get the striker, the big talisman number 9, that's going to play from? I almost think he's fixture proof, except against Arsenal, where I did actually bench him. So I think he's a no-brainer. And a white João Pedro, who you mentioned, he's very streaky and maybe he's about to go on a streak right now. You know what you're going to get from Mateta. He's set, he's forget. And I think the meta game is moving towards 2 strikers with a fodder in that third spot. So I think Haaland Mateta is the way forward.
Yeah, I like the thought of that as well. It's definitely something I've considered, which I don't think I'd do to myself because I've got Gyökeres in there and I've gone a bit against the template with my side. But Dom, any thoughts on Mateta as a non-owner?
Wish I'd had him.
Not owning him.
Just wish I had him. It's okay.
One of those ones. I mean, it's one of those things where we can't have everybody, So that's sort of where we're at. Would you like me to do this by position, or should we just go gun-ho, who's the highest predicted? What do you guys reckon?
Gun-ho.
Gun-ho?
Gun-ho.
Bruno, I'm scared of Bruno. I'm scared of owning him, and I'm scared of not owning him.
I like that.
Which probably tells you maybe I shouldn't have made the move this week. But in the role he's playing, like he's not getting DC. The attacking returns haven't been always there. But when he gets a return, he's always guaranteed points. Like, I mean, that sounds stupid. I mean, he's guaranteed bonus points.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
I just can't justify that price when Mbeumo's sitting there, which is exactly why I made the move, so it can allow me to free up some stuff later down the line. And I haven't even looked further ahead than what you see on screen. But I just can't recommend buying Bruno at this point. I think there's so many cheaper mids doing similar, if not better things than him, that I wouldn't be buying Bruno. But if I was a Bruno owner, it's a hard call. What would you be doing, Damo? If you're someone in the position I was in last week, what would you be doing?
I think he's a very easy player to judge. If you don't have him, you don't buy him. But if you have him, you just hold him and you just keep holding him. The only reason I got rid of Bruno was when I was on wildcard and I restructured. Or else if I had him and I didn't have a wild card of 5 transfers to move like to a different template, I think he's just very set and forget. United look a bit better, look like they've turned a corner, and he does have DC ability. It's not like as high as we probably all predicted start of the season, for sure. Do I think he's going to get the 200-point marks that I predicted at the start of the year? No. But do I think he's still a really good asset and someone that in these harder games will probably get DC, will be on penalties still, will have the ability to pick up the assist or goal? Yeah. I liken Bruno to someone that is like James Ward-Prowse of old. Someone that you just put in your team for, obviously fee a bit different, but same feeling. You put in your team, just go, he's going to tick over. There's going to be a lot of game weeks of 2, 3s, whatever, and then bang, there's that one of 10 or 12, 15, right? If you're someone that likes to play more aggressively or someone that likes that big high ceiling, then obviously Mbeumo's your guy because he will go 220. So, yeah, it depends which way you want to look at it. I think if you got him, you keep him. I think if you don't have him, you don't think about him because probably a lot of other midfielders at a bit of a cheaper price that you can go to. But I also say that if we keep talking about cheaper mids, at some point you're going to need to spend the budget anyhow.
Yeah, I agree. And one of those guys is Semenyo. Hasn't been as good lately. Bournemouth kind of have stunted a little bit. I still think he's going to be going all right. I mean, 64% owned is crazy. Like, you got to be a madman to go against that, I think, at this point of the year with Villa, who aren't looking amazing. And West Ham, Sunderland, Everton, Chelsea, Man United, Burnley, Brentford. I think people are panicking at the moment. I just can't, again, justify selling Semenyo ahead of that fixture run. Gabriel's borderline captainable in some fixtures at the moment. Like, he's just
insane.
Clean sheet and attacking potential. Like, I know Raptors spoken about it quite a lot. You just need him. 41% is criminally low for him. Like, I think if you've got an underperforming defense, I think people just need to prioritize getting Gabriel in. He's the number one priority. He's playable in every single fixture. He's got goal threat. He's got clean sheet threat. Arsenal's defense is clearly the best in the league. I think you just need minimum 2 defensive assets from Arsenal, whether that be Raya, Timber, Calafiori. Yeah. With him, you need 2. I just don't think you need to talk about that. Damo, can I get your thoughts on the next man in Dominic Szoboszlai?
He is one that I have in my watch list. Not for next game week. Not for this game week, not for next game week, because Enzo has 2 good fixtures, and I think it would be very poor of me as an FPL manager to sell Enzo before Burnley. But Szobosz after that is someone I really like. So the City fixture, who cares? Forest would be a great fixture to pick him up. I can't get to him, I don't think. And then we go on this good run of form. He's playing in the 10, and when Liverpool look at their best, he's in the 10, right? And he's playing 90 minutes. And if he ain't playing in the 10 for whatever reason, he's going to play the 6. And if he ain't playing in the 6 for 90 minutes, he's going to play right back. And when he's playing in the 6 or right back, because we need to get him in the side, he's getting DC. And when he's playing in the 10, he's being creative. He may have got 2 points on the weekend. I honestly think he's the best Liverpool asset to have because he's guaranteed 90 minutes every single game. And he passes the eye test flying colours. If you watch any Liverpool game, he's arguably been our best player all season.
We had 22 DC at the weekend, so...
He's nuts.
So he still ticked over with a 4-pointer, I think, last week.
No, he got booked, I think. He got booked, didn't he?
Oh, did he? I don't know.
Yeah. Anyhow, I just think he'll tick over. And like with our good fixture run, he'll get on the end of some. He's on some set pieces, might score another free kick goal. When you're looking for the Liverpool assets, is the money there for Salah? Plus he's got AFCON later. Maybe not. Really aggressive manager maybe would rip their team up and get Salah in for a few games and ship him back out. Where I think there's a lot to be made in like Szoboszlai. Like I do think there's a world for myself personally. Saka to Szoboszlai is on the cards, and I'll put that money into defense. But yeah, Szoboszlai looks the goods moving forward.
I've just seen that Ryan Gravenberch is the 7th highest scoring midfielder in the game
because he gets these weird long range deflected goals. I think that's his 2nd deflected goal this season.
Yeah, DC quite a lot.
What's he hit DC? Because he needs 12, right? So
yeah,
he's only hit it once.
Yeah, it's because of these goals, and then when he gets a goal, he generally gets a bonus.
Only midfield really lighting the world on fire is Semenyo this season.
Yeah, so. Then it's Declan Rice, then it's Caicedo, then Mbeumo, then Njai, Salah, Gravenberch, Xhaka, Palhinha, Anthony, Minte.
Wow. Speaking about Salah, he's thrown up that rank of the last few weeks, but he looks a bit better. But I still reckon Szoboszlai would be the best pick from Liverpool at the moment.
Yeah, I thought Szoboszlai would be higher on this list. I'm just having a look. So
he just turns over.
Yeah. Oh, no, he got 22 DC, sorry, against Brentford in game week 9. He had 7 last week. Sorry, you're right. He got 2 points.
Yeah.
But he still had a 0.38 XGI in this game as well against Aston Villa. So I think, I'm definitely looking at him, and with good fixture runs and, as you said, he's always in the team. McAllister's not 100% fit. Frimpong's in and out. Like, there's just a spot for the Boz line. I feel like Slot is going to go back to a bit more of his, I'm going to have my best 11 and that's it. Like, that's how we played last year. And I think there's too much tinkering going on at the moment. And I think Liverpool need a little bit of consistency. It's funny that the next player down is Brian Mbeumo. Again, I made this move last week where the price difference was a little bit higher, which is why, you're looking at 43.6 points versus 46.3 over I think what's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game stretch. Over an 8 game stretch, I'm going to back Mbeumo with goals to get above Bruno Fernandes. Declan Rice, Damo and I, we spoke about him, didn't we, as an option as well a couple of weeks ago. Not a pick that I really love. Again, I just think there's better value in that 6.8 mil area. I think I'd rather the goal threat as a Bosley versus the assist threat of Declan Rice. I know, and I feel like that value of that third Arsenal slot's more valuable than going another 6.5 million mid. I think that's where I'm at with Declan Rice. Any thoughts there, fellas?
Dom, anything from you
Great.
on Rice?
Yeah, it's a funny one. I don't know. I'm just so confused about midfielders this season.
Like, he's sitting as the second highest scoring. He is the second highest scoring mid. His last run again. I'll just read his score. Like, I'll bring his points out. 6, 6, 4, 1, 3, 9, 11, 3, 7, 13. That's Declan Rice.
You would think that's like...
That's better than Saka.
Yeah.
Oh, miles better than Saka.
So, if I'm looking at DC, he's got it against Liverpool. He got it against Newcastle. And he got 21 against Burnley. Jesus Christ. So, he's only got DC in 3 games. And he's got 6 attacking returns in 10 games. He's got 2 goals and 4 assists.
Yeah. But it's got to end. Surely these defensive midfielders just have to, like Caicedo, Enzo.
At least with Rice, he has a little bit better historical data for being someone that can go forward. And his data, I think, XGI is better than what Casado's data is so low. It's lower than most defenders, and it's just nuts that every time he hits one from distance, seems to go in. But yeah, I don't hate him as a pick. I think if you're moving Saka to him, it's too sideways. But if you only have 2 Arsenal and you've been like, don't know how to get your third Arsenal spot in, this one makes the most amount of sense. Wouldn't begrudge anyone that went to Declan Rice. Just don't think you could go from Saka there. You probably could go from Eze there, because I just don't rate Eze as a fantasy pick in this Arsenal side at all.
Could you go from Jack Grealish there?
It's tempting. I think especially before. The thing is, Sunderland, they will dominate, right? Sunderland are a pretty decent side, though. But against Spurs, Chelsea, and it's Brentford and Villa, I expect all 4 of those next 5 games that he plays, those sides to go and attack Arsenal at a fair little clip. So he should be picking up DC or go close in all 4 of those next 5. Sunderland, maybe not. They'll just have too much of the ball. But Spurs will probably go at him because it's a derby. Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge, they'll go at him, right? Brentford only know one way, right? And then Villa at Villa Park, of course they're going to go at him. So I think 4 of his next 5, he probably gets DC. Plus he has attacking potential. And then it's Wolves, Everton, Brighton. Tell you what, look, this is why I have Saka, and I don't want to really get rid of Saka. But at the same time, I'm a realist to know that the values in these type of midfielders, I really think Declan Rice is a good option for you if you do not have a third Arsenal spot.
And that's it. If I moved on Gyökeres and then moved a Granit Xhaka to a Declan, I'll probably keep Granit Xhaka, to be fair. But if I'm deciding between Elliot Anderson right now or Declan Rice, I'm paying for Declan Rice. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I'd almost play Declan Rice every single week and go Gyökeres to a fodder and then put the rest of that money back into my defense and move up a Tarkowski to a Virgil van Dijk. So if I could make those kind of moves and move my Gyökeres money that way, Gyökeres to Krupi Jr., Anderson to Rice, Tarkovsky to a premium defender that's playing for better clean sheet potential, or even Lacroix or Munoz. Well, I mean, that's probably a downgrade, but, Virgil, we'll just go Virgil for argument's sake. Say I want a piece of Liverpool defence. I think that could be something that I look at doing. And then my team would just be absolutely locked and loaded. So before we move on to Damo's best friend, can we make sure that we hit the like button? We will get to those comments as they come in as well. The likes definitely do help us push the stream out as we are live, which is massive. We're at 12 likes. Let's try and get it up to 20 for the return. Damo, talk us about Enzo Fernandez.
Oh man, I had a wild card draft that had Salcedo in over Enzo because he was the week that they played Liverpool, and I was like, Salcedo will just get DC, probably outscore Enzo this game. Maybe I'll just do that to save funds. And if I did, oh boys, what a rank we would have. Unfortunately, Damien likes to be brave and bold, and Enzo makes a lot of sense because he's a 10 with Palmer out and whatever. I don't know what to make of him anymore. I don't know if there's injuries affecting him. I don't know if it's just Chelsea playing him deeper for whatever reason. He's a man with so much talent, and I love watching him when he's on, but he's just looked off it. I can't sell him before Wolves at home, and I can't sell him before Burnley away, but there is a world where I just get frustrated and he's out for Sabozlai for this game week. And I honestly think I'd rather Saboz against City than Enzo against Wolves at the moment, just from what I'm seeing from the eye test. And that's ludicrous. Dom, you are the resident Chelsea fan. Discuss. Go.
Oh, I would be flinging him off. Like, everything points to get rid of him. Lavia back. Looks really good. Looks fit. We look really good with him. Reece James in midfield. Looks incredible. Cole Palmer not far away. There's the 10 spot. We know João Pedro in the 10. Looks good. Liam Delap back fit. Had a week off due to a suspension. Back in the squad. Chelsea look miles better with a true number 9. Pedro in the 10. Casado's locked in the midfield, so there's one more midfield spot there. James looks billion times better than Enzo right now. We're going to see Casado next to James. Pedro in front of him. Palmer to the right. Whoever's on the left, I don't know. I don't care. Liam Delap up front. Whether that's in the next 2 weeks, probably not. But and like you said, he's not passing the eye test.
Don't like him at all. I don't know what to do with him. I think it's ludicrous to sell him before Wolves because I think he plays 90. There's a world after the international break. He comes back, he gets rested, and Palmer gets back into the first 11 because he should be back after this international break. Yep. And then Enzo comes out. I just think there's too much competition in that spot. I don't know if I can really move away from these next 2 fixtures, but I definitely can't wait for game week 13 to fling him off as well.
Yeah, it's just so hard because the 2 fixtures upcoming are so good. Like, so good.
Yeah,
especially
I agree.
Wolves at home.
Yeah.
Like, we could see 5 goals this week.
Have they come out and said who's going to manage Wolves this weekend?
Nah, they're just all over the place. Oh, the assistant manager or the youth team manager, I don't know.
Yeah,
they are like they're getting relegated.
Yeah, absolute shambles.
And they're
interesting.
Oh, and one of the defenders got sent off last week. Their only good defender.
Agbadu got sent off.
Probably their only good defender. So we're going to see minimum 3 goals here, I think.
Yeah.
So you have to keep Enzo, right?
Keep Enzo.
You got to keep him for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so he cannot be in your team after the 2 games.
Arsenal.
Like, I would even look at moving him on after Wolves. But he cannot be there in 3 game weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Let's keep it moving. Cody Gakpo, Dom, fire away.
Why is he there? Damo, I know you're a big fan of Cody Gakpo this season.
Highly predicted points. There's a reason why he's there. From game week 12, that fixture run. What do we see, Damo?
A guy that can't hit the target. A guy that loves to hit the post.
He does love hitting the post.
He loves hitting the post, which ain't FPL points. A guy that I actually have a lot of time for when I take my FPL hat off and move to just Liverpool fandom. Because he gets in a lot of right areas, and I think we look better when he is playing out on the left and linking up play, and Robertson's getting beyond him, have a good understanding. I will say proceed with caution because I think Saboz is that locked. Slot will have to get Wirtz back into this side. And I've been calling it for a while that I think Wirtz gets back into this side playing off the left. And as much as Slot loves Gakpo, he knows he's got to have his 117 million men start at some point. So I don't think Gakpo's minutes are as nailed. Plus, when Isak's fit, you've got to get Ekitike and Isak together. And they weren't going to play two up top. So one of them's got to play off the left if you're going to shoehorn them in.
Yeah.
So I just think there's too much competition in Gakpo's actual area. As a player, he's class. And I think he's very good. He could score points. He has a good goal threat. He has pretty good minutes. I just don't know if those minutes are going to drop. I think he's definitely one to wait and see. The problem is we're all going to want him for Forest. You probably don't want him this week and I wouldn't go buying him. If you have him, you're not selling him. I think he's a good player to look at. And if you're confident of his minutes, go pick him up. I just don't know if I would be. And it's maybe some Bosley for that little bit cheaper, that 1.1 mil, maybe the better way to go because he's got routes to so many different types of points.
Actually, he's going to play 90 minutes every game too. I think Gakpo's going to get
the odd bench, Gakpo's recent minutes, he's only one bench where he came off in the 40, came on in the 45th.
No. So Palace in game week 6 played 45. Brentford in game week 9 played 60. Everton in game week 5 played 60. No. Everton played 60 and the rest 90. So there's 3 games there out of 10. So, I don't know. I've always struggled with Liverpool attackers outside of Salah and sometimes Nunes when everyone else is injured because I just don't want to pay that money for someone who's going to come off after an hour. Like it's just, I'd rather have the assets from the worst teams, but know they're going to play 90 minutes. You know what I mean? Like there's just that part of me that I'd rather take the gamble on a Declan Rice because at least I know he's going to play, or if he's not going to start, he's not going to play at all. Like Declan Rice did play 22 minutes against Nottingham Forest, which is really surprising. But, Declan Rice is playing 80 minutes every week normally. So
yeah, I agree with that. But if you nail the right Liverpool attacker in this run and Liverpool get back to their best and there's been glimpses of them clicking, then you're going to score a lot of points and be a massive upside as well. Is that Gakpo? I don't know. Is it Sabozla? I don't know. There's another guy that I don't think is going to make this list, and I'm looking at him, but I don't know.
Who's that?
If he gets some minutes against City and he starts and he looks decent, I will tell you right now, Florian Wirtz in game weeks 12 or 13 will come in.
Yeah.
Because it has to turn, and he's too good of a player for it not to.
I'm keen to see what he does against Real Madrid.
Same here. Because he'll play against Madrid, and then if he plays against City, looks good in both, he might be the one with really low ownership. And if you're going to gamble one of these Liverpool midfielders...
At 8 million, man. He's come down 0.5.
Yeah, if you gamble on one of these Liverpool midfielders, who has the highest upside out of all of them?
It's Wirtz.
Low owned. No one's going to go near him. If he plays 90 and he starts, he's arguably our best midfielder on paper. And there's glimpses of him looking good. There's also a lot of glimpses of him looking absolutely horrendous. I just think the upside, it could be massive. And if you're looking for that little gamble, I think he's the one you take. If you see that he starts against Madrid, he starts against City, and you'd be like, all right, here we go. Maybe, not really. I don't think so. But
we spoke about him before. I wouldn't go there.
Same here.
All right, we'll do a few more, and then I want to get into fixtures, and then I want to talk about our teams going into next week. So next up's Amad Diallo, of all people, playing at right wing back, who has actually looked really good. We know he's a good footballer. Like, there's no hiding that he is a talented attacking footballer. My concern with him as a midfielder is you lose the value of the clean sheet with him. Imagine if he was getting 4 points for a clean sheet as a defender.
Huge.
With some of the attacking numbers he's putting up. Like, he is hitting DC. He's consistently getting 3-pointers. Now, whether that is through the means of DC, assist, and he scored a goal at the weekend, got a 9-pointer and got 10 DC. He has hit DC, 4 times, I think? 1, 2.
Yep.
Oh, no, he's a midfielder, sorry, isn't he?
12.
He hasn't even hit DC once, but he's hit 10s and 11s a lot. I was counting it for bloody 10. So that's even like he's scoring okay without DC. I wouldn't be going there though. I think there's better options at 6.3 million.
I really hope he keeps playing the full season, because next year it would have to be a 5.5 defender, and I think that would be criminal.
He would be a cheat code. Yeah, Pedro, Dom, talk us through what your thoughts are on him. We'll probably do this run of players, then we'll go into fixtures.
Should have definitely had at least minimum 3 contributions. Mr. Sitter gave one off, or should have given one off. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, his goal was very well taken. I'll give him that. But yeah, I don't know. He's just up and down, like you touched on. He's like he was at Brighton, kind of thing. But you know, like I said with Enzo, you have to hold him at least the next 2 game weeks. And then from there, he kind of goes the opposite to Enzo, where players back in, Palmer and Delap, could benefit him, because he just looks so much more fluid in that 10, where he can just roam around, him and Palmer just doing what they want. And then Delap's that hold up man, ball into him, runners come through, like the traditional number 9. So I think he's a kind of, if you got him, I think he's a bit of a set and forget. Personally, I mean, I got rid of him. Semi regret it now. He's easy to get back in at his price point, but yeah, he's a funny one. You can go both ways. If I held him, I'd probably just keep holding him now with Delap and Palmer not far away.
He had 2 XGI on the weekend, and most of that came through XG. He was at 1.86 XG and 0.13 XA, but he hasn't had anything higher than 0. Holy moly, 0.6 was his highest XG.
Yeah, well,
bar that. So really, really big data there. Moving on, Gyökeres. I'm very happy to own Victor Gyökeres for the next couple of weeks. Anyway, Sunderland, Tottenham, Chelsea, Brentford isn't too bad. Villa, Wolves, Everton, Brighton really is not too bad either. I'll be more concerned about when Kai Havertz comes back into the squad, what's going to happen with Victor Gyökeres. I think the goal came at a good time. He had 2 incredible passes that one of them completely unlocked the defense as well. And if him and Saka had linked up for some points, there would have been a lot of happy managers going around. And I would have 100% been one of them. I think the injury is a bit more precautionary. They're up 2-0. They were cruising in an easy game, and just off you come, man. We got bigger fish to fry. Cunha, eye test, brilliant. Again, at 7.9 million. I think there's better options than Cunha. I think he just needs to run a game to really find his form, which is where I'm at with him. Virgil, Damo, do you want to talk us through Virgil?
Yeah, he's in my short list. I do think after this game week, Dan Burn to Virgil makes a lot of sense. I can't afford that exactly as it stands right now. In one move, I do have 3 free transfers, could be 4 free transfers, etc. So it doesn't have to be exact money, but he's one. The only thing I'll say with Virgil is Kanate is getting 90 minutes, and is matching him for DC, give or take. So for 0.6 less, Kanate might be the go. The only thing is, with Virgil, it will definitely be 90. Kanate might get the odd benching for Gomez, and it's injury prone. But yeah, I think depending on where you like for funds, I think he's the best Liverpool defender to go for, unless someone tells me Robertson is nailed for the foreseeable future, and he should be, because Kirk is the worst left back we've ever signed. But
oh, come on,
he is. We're dying that.
Come on.
I think if you can get Virgil in, I think you just got to go Virg. I think just has everything locked in.
He does.
He's just the best option. And Jai, I like, but you want to be keeping an eye on what this injury was. I think that I saw there was a cramp mentioned there. So maybe not as bad as first thought, so he should be fine. Ismail Assar, Crystal Palace looked great. Timber, probably wouldn't go with Eze, and I think that's probably the main players that we're looking at. Let's get quickly into the fixture analyzer. So now I always forget how to do this. So that says best attacking teams, best defensive teams. I want the overall. There we go.
Yeah.
So for best attacking teams, attack, defense. So it doesn't change anything though, does it?
No, so if you filter on the left by attack, that's the best data they think for the best attacking team. So they think Liverpool have the best attack. You hit the
Yeah.
defense thing, it will come up with Arsenal being the best. And then
Easiest attacking fixtures. All right, there we go.
Correct. That's what you want.
So Arsenal have the easiest attacking fixtures over the next 5. Let's stretch it out. There.
Yep.
There. All right. 11 to 18, because that's about the point where we get our wild card and stuff back, isn't it?
Yeah, 20 is where
19.
it goes back. 16 is when we get the 5 free transfers for AFCON. So game week 15, make sure you have 0 transfers left. And then 20 is when the wild card comes back around. I would probably look at something like this, and that gives you to that wild card point if you want a wild card in 20, even though I personally would recommend not to, but you play how you want to play. This is probably a good list there, Paul.
So Man United come in first for attacking fixtures between now and the wild card. Brian and Mbeumo, fire him up. I'm actually keen to keep an eye on Benjamin Sesko as well. If he can get a string of games in as the 9, he's actually quite a creative 9. So, you don't particularly want that from your striker, do you? But the link up him and Brian and Mbeumo are having up front is actually quite good. And he's another one of those mid-7 type of operators up front that you could actually consider. Liverpool, we've spoken at depth about their defense. The attack is hard to nail down. I think Szoboszlai, if it is to be in the 10 or the 8, is a good option. I just don't know. I can't justify paying for Salah with the form Haaland's in, and he's off to AFCON anyway through that period of game, so just not an option. Is Federico Chiesa somebody we could consider when Salah's at AFCON with, the run of games of Leicester, Brighton, Tottenham, Wolves, Leeds?
I would say maybe. My only issue, if Frimpong's back fit, it was mentioned that he was brought in for the reason he can play right wing. So be an out of position defensive player.
God, 6 mil defender playing right wing for Liverpool.
Just absolute chaos footballer, that guy is.
Yeah. So there's things in that. I think Chiesa is someone that could definitely have a cheeky little look at. I would just be monitoring how we're shaping up. I think if you're looking for a Liverpool midfielder, there's a couple of trains of thoughts. The Szoboszlai train, there's the Wirtz train, the Gakpo. The one that I think is the bravest one and I think has the biggest upside is if you have the transfers to do it, it's an international break, game week 12, you get to the deadline and you rip up 3-4 transfers and you get Salah, Haaland and you captain Salah for Forest, West Ham and Sunderland and Leeds. And you just you take the upside. You'll either end your season in a low rank or you will fly and be inside the top 50K very easily if you pull it off.
Yeah, now that.
Yeah. I don't know if I've seen enough personally to do that. It has crossed my mind. I may have tinkered with a draft. And the reason why is Salah has started to look better without looking great. And he's been turning over and he was come into the 5th high scoring midfielder and he hasn't even played well yet.
Yeah.
Is there a world that you'd be tempted by him, boys, considering how good the fixtures are and knowing he'll play 90 in all of them until he goes away?
So hard.
He struggles typically after AFCON as well. He's got to do so much traveling, so much playing on top of everybody else, plus Champions League. I think the load that goes on to those boys that go to AFCON is just too much.
Or before AFCON, though, would you be taking him in 12?
I mean,
12 to 15, that is a pretty good punt of Forest, West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds. And honestly, I've thought about doing this and captained him for all of those games to be like, he's going to play 90 because we need the points. Go. And then he'll go to AFCON and get the 5 free transfers. I think there's a definite
I personally can't do it because I've got 1 free transfer this week. And I don't think I can make it work with 2 unless it's like a Gyökeres down and a Grealish up. And maybe it is doable that way in game week 12. I don't particularly want to sell Gyökeres because, as you can see, Arsenal have the next best attacking fixtures between now and then as well. So I personally won't do it, but I wouldn't tell anyone not to do it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's just a bang Harry's comment.
Transfers though, and you want to use 2, and his
Harry's
price is
right there.
Haaland's doing what he's doing. Yeah, but I think there's enough enablers in the game. Yeah, there's enough enablers in the game though to actually justify having them. Like, you don't need to have premium midfielders. So if you have Saka, Semenyo, and three other like lower mids that are all contributing. If you had Declan Rice, if you had maybe not Caicedo, but let me just get the midfielders up, right? So I think Declan Rice is a serious consideration as a cheaper midfielder. Iliman and Jai is only 6.5 million. Granit Xhaka's 5.1, Minte 6. You can't tell me you can't have Semenyo, Salah, and three of them with Haaland and a Mateta with Krupi Jr., and then a combination of 5.5 to 4.5 million defenders and Nick Pope in goal or Roofs in goal.
Reckon that comes in less than 100?
100% it does. 100% it does. But you got to have the transfers to do that. I don't. You need 4 transfers to restructure. That's the difference.
It's a mini wild card.
If you've got 4 or 5 transfers, it's a mini wild card. It makes sense to do that. I'm not in a position to do that. If you've got 4 transfers and you want Salah, you need to take Tarkovsky and straight away take that down to a 4.5, 4.3 defender like Alderete or a Mukiel. What's Mukiel? 4.1?
Yep.
Like 4.2. Straight down. Bang. See you later. I know we only got the 4 DC today, but, for 5.5 versus 4.2, there's an argument to be had there. If you've got a Bukayo Saka, bang, down to Declan Rice. You keep your Arsenal midfielder. You get, you save 3 million and away you go. And there's already 4 million towards bringing Salah in. You go a big striker down to Krupi Jr., saving you another 5 mil. And then you go one of those 7 million midfielders all the way up.
I agree.
I could consider it. Good point there, Damo. Next in's Arsenal. I think for an attacking perspective, is there anyone we're targeting attacking-wise? I know we're talking about Declan Rice a lot, but would you look at Gyökeres if he's fit going into the weekend?
I think if you were looking to buy, you can't buy Gyökeres this weekend. And I think there's a lot of people that might be thinking about captaining Saka. I do technically have him on my bus team as a captain, but I don't think against Sunderland you can because Sunderland looks so good. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know who I'll go to from an Arsenal perspective if you're looking at an attacking player. It has to be Declan Rice, probably is the one you'd recommend, but he's not an attacking player. He's a defensive midfielder that has some goal threat. So, yeah.
Yeah. He's probably my number one if I was looking at Arsenal, Crystal Palace. I think your combination of Crystal Palace is one of the 4 defenders with Sarr and Mateta. I don't think you need to consider anyone else.
Yeah.
So, Richards, Gahey, Lacroix. I mean, probably not Gahey because it's Richards or Lacroix, really, isn't it? If you're trying to save money or if you're going for the 5 million, you're going Lacroix. And then you're going with Mateta and Sarr. I think it's pretty simple. Brentford not touching. Bournemouth, Semenyo or no one. West Ham not touching. Chelsea probably having a watch of João Pedro, but if you want it, you need it this week against Wolves at home against a managerless team. So it's a bit interesting. Brighton, it's Minte or bust, I think, and Newcastle, I probably wouldn't go there with Man City on the horizon as well. But the good thing with Newcastle is from game week 14, it looks all right as well. So, again, I don't know if I like their attackers, but I'm still keen on their defenders at home. You can see the home fixtures start to turn. I know City's at home, but then you go and get Everton away, which isn't a great fixture. Everton have pretty much got all their points at home. And then Tottenham at home, Burnley at home, Chelsea at home, I think are 3 really good fixtures. And then you get Burnley away and Man United away as well. Let's look at defense before we go into what we're going to do. Now, why is that so? Is that how it's meant to be?
With defense, clean sheets. Yeah, it's clean sheets that they expect.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, it's easiest clean sheet potential, and they reckon it's us over this fund, which I don't expect that personally. I think it should be Arsenal, but it's because Arsenal plays Spurs, Chelsea, Villa in that run, and Brighton and Villa again.
We definitely aren't taking the clean sheet to save our lives. Give you the hot tick.
Yeah. So Newcastle, look, that's why I'm still okay with Newcastle. The prediction's high on them with a clean sheet. Crystal Palace the same. City don't have the best fixtures, like Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, Leeds is all right, Fulham, Sunderland, Palace, West Ham. Like City's turns right here when we get those transfers, which is nice because we can get an idea of who we want to target. Man United's just a team that have good attacking and good defensive fixtures. So I wouldn't be targeting a Man United defender because they can't defend to save their lives. But there are options for Man United as well. So like they do have centre backs getting high DC too. So definitely worth considering, but no clean sheets. So with 10 minutes to go, I want to talk through something I've drawn up before we get into your teams. Now, I won't be doing this because this is involving a -8 hit, which I won't be doing. But I've made 3 transfers to my existing team. If you were to look at that team, what's the weakness? That's only 3 transfers to my existing team. I'll tell you what they are in a second.
No weakness, personally. Probably a little bit.
If I had to pick one, maybe the midfield slightly on the weaker side.
Yeah,
I'd say midfield slightly on the weaker side.
So if I told you this team played 4-3-3, 4-4-2, or 5-4 or 5-3-2 every week,
fine. Think it's probably you've got to be benching Welbeck way too often, though.
Yeah. This leaves 1.4 million in the bank as well, if it's Welbeck. So you could actually go higher, which I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't want to do that. I played around with going at like Crippy Jr. Why is that so no forwards there? Let's go forwards. So if you put, oh my God, this stupid app. Is Crippy Jr. seriously that high on the forwards? Oh my God.
Yeah.
You've got 3.3 million in this team to spend. Imagine that. And you're talking about the midfield not being good enough. Grealish could go to a 10 million mid. Or,
that instantly levels it up.
Yeah. So, but again, you triple Arsenal though, so you're not going Saka. So you're going like Verts, or you're taking more money out from here. So if you're going, say, Dan Burn, like this is just pure, if you had a wild card now, like it's going away from me having 3 moves, how do you then, we're talking about getting Mo Salah in as a midfielder. You're 3.2 mil overpriced. You're going that out as a 2 point. What is this on my screen? And you can just play around with it. I'm not going to play around with it live, but there's means to do
I have my Salah draft ready to go.
There we go. That's my actual team. Well, whilst we're on it, here's my team for this week. I've got 0 transfers. I said I was making it. I got to make an interesting call. Xhaka goes and plays Arsenal this week. So as much as I'd love to start Xhaka, I don't think this is the week to do it. I just think Arsenal are going to win that game relatively comfortably.
Like a 1-2
Again, I've gone to my defending headache is probably the first time I've got it this week. I've got Tarkowski and Anderson playing each other in a game that I expect to be good.
A lot of good teams matching up this week, as well as a lot of the good assets playing away.
Yeah,
this week. It's a funny week.
So I feel gross benching Senesi, but Elliot Anderson has been ticking along though. So like if you look at Anderson here, it's 6-2-2-4-4-3-1-4-2-4. Like he is ticking along just as well. Yeah, but it's away. It's DC though.
Could see a clean sheet there. Could see a 1-0, 0-0. Villa ain't all that.
Thoughts, Damo?
You're locked in. You're guaranteed your DC there. Forest might have the ball. Forest will probably have more of the ball at home to Leeds.
Yeah, I think you play Elliot. Personally,
I expect
they're gonna have the ball. They're gonna have the ball. Though.
He can pop up with a goal. He can pop up with assist, and he will get DC.
Senesi could pop up with a clean sheet or an assist.
It's tough.
Drives into midfield.
I don't know where you're
going. Yeah, but Dom, you're talking about DC. I mean, like we spoke about Elliot Anderson first 3 weeks. That's under Nuno, right? 15, 15, 16, 10, 12, 11, 16. I think you're just as likely to get. Doesn't matter who they play. He's getting it. He's getting double. He's got double digits every week. Double digits every week.
Give me Senesi. We'll come back to this next week.
It's very close.
We will. This is where I like playing the home fixture.
Yeah,
this is where Forest on the front foot. They're going to press. He's going to get recoveries because Leeds are going to be counter-attacking. Like there's all of that. It's Sean Dyche, second, third game in charge as well. He's playing. He's in that Dyche ball. I didn't expect him to tick along the way he's ticked along. He's actually surprised me. I didn't think he was going to come near my team, but he's actually really impressed me. And all it's going to take is a set piece from him onto Murillo and Milenkovic's head, and you get DC and assist and probably 2 bonus. That's where I'm at. It's a real tough decision, but I think it's the only decision I have to make this week. End of the day, if Gyökeres doesn't play, the decision's made for me, but that'd be annoying.
Correct.
Because
that's my side.
Play, he's not playing at all, so he's not stepping on the pitch.
You want a photo of my side, Paul?
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about your Salah one after.
Yeah, all good. I'll get that up. Give me 1 sec, mate.
I'm rolling, so I'm going to skip through this.
Game week 11.
Skip through this. We're getting on to
3 more likes, guys. Let's do it. Get your questions
That's
in the chat as well, because we'll finish off with some questions from you guys along the way as well. Damo's got his team here. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so planning on rolling this week because you want to target City players or Liverpool players that both play each other this week before they both go on a fixture run. I find it very hard to drop Saka or Enzo with the fixtures that they have. I do have the current armband on Saka. I think I'll pivot back to Haaland because we defensively look not great. I will say, I think if there's ever a week to go against Haaland, it's Liverpool. We seem to match up very well versus City historically, and Van Dijk seems to be at his best when he's playing against a world-class attacker, and he's done the job on Haaland plenty of times before. So I think just purely like that, I actually think the best captain for me might be Gabriel, who will probably get a clean sheet and have attacking potential and potentially DC. So I might end up on Gabriel, which could be interesting. But yeah, planning on rolling. For those that don't know, I actually made a few moves last week, which included me obviously selling Anderson, which would have been nice for this week. And it was actually going to a fodder spot in the 5th spot, which was Guiu. And that was Bowen down. And it would have been nice to keep Bowen. West Ham looked really poor and then go and ship free against Newcastle. So maybe a little bit not great with that.
Yeah.
But I think I've got a roll going into an international game week, and I think Senesi over Burn is definitely the play for me. Be the only the decision there. And I don't think Guiu starts. I've literally picked him because he's the cheapest 4.3 mil striker. But if you bring up the Salah draft, Paul, that's only 3 moves away. That's only a handful of moves away. 3 moves, 4 moves. I'm going to have 4 free transfers next week if I roll. It is very tempting. And you can see top right corner, Szoboszlai's there. I would go with Enzo for Burnley away and then get Szoboszlai in for West Ham onwards. I will say the reason why I might not do this is I do plan to probably triple captain Haaland at homes to Leeds the week after. And I feel like getting Salah in and then not captaining him for every game of this run and not captaining him against West Ham away, then is it really worth it? But that's currently what I'm tinkering with. It leaves me quite short on the bench, but it's only for 4 weeks. And if I had to play Mukiele or Alderete against Fulham, Bournemouth, so be it. And I could always pivot to
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I think for a 5-week punt, that team would work. I'd have to pay Xhaka quite a fair bit, or Mukiele.
That's fine, though. He ticks along.
Yeah, and then but everyone else just goes set and forget, and you still get a midfield free or guaranteed each week of Salah and Mbeumo Sarr and probably Szoboszlai. So you still get to play, a 4-4-2, a 3-5-2, depending. I'm very tempted by this, and it's only a few moves away. It's Saka to Salah. It is one of my defenders, Dan Burn down to Mukiele. And it is that's it, really. Actually, I don't know. It's Enzo down to Xhaka or something like that.
I was just looking at Fantasy Football Hub.
Or Semenyo down.
So Hub have Joachim Anderson at 3.9 predicted and Senesi at 3.9 predicted. Both playing away. Fulham defense typically better at home. Would you start Senesi away to Villa over Anderson away to Everton, who Everton have been good at home?
I would go with Senesi because I just think Fulham away aren't great.
I agree. Which I've just made that move on my team right now as we speak. So now my team sits Senesi, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Joachim Anderson, first sub on the bench, who he picked up this week. What did he pick up this week?
Clean sheet.
4 DC against Wolves. Yeah, easy game against Wolves. So, yeah. Which is where I'm going to leave my side at. We haven't got any comments in, but we've just ticked over the hour mark. So that is where we are going to leave it tonight. I will chip away at hopefully getting some videos out later this week. We got a bit on earlier this week as well. So hopefully by Thursday and Friday, I've got a few shorts on the channel for you guys. So thank you to those that have subscribed, those that have liked the stream as well. But make sure you do all those things for us because it does help push the videos out there. But we will see you guys next week for another stream.